Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Rainer and today I will be showing you my mod 18 build for Avernus for the Ranger. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you would like to see more information and videos about Neverwinter, hit the subscribe button. So, normally I'm not super fond of doing build videos. I prefer giving you the character builder file and then just playing with it, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. Here's my ranger. You probably know how the ranger looks like by now, and I upgraded my ranger build to fit the stat caps for the new dungeon, which are of course 85,000 and for combat advantage 135,000. So here you can see I am at the stats, a combat advantage is slightly below, but actually I will get to that later. HP is also fine, mostly because we're using the new well, actually we're stepping away from the Demon Lord set, so that's basically why we have plenty of HP. So what are the changes to before? Actually, there's more changes than you would expect. As I said already, the Demon Lord set is gone. I'm using the music box set now. It's a lot more HP, a lot more statistics. This actually stayed the same. I want to get a better pants here, but yeah, what can you do? RNG. There are changes, also 3 big ones. We have of course the rusted iron leggings. I think everyone is using them by now. Do note that if you're using this, make sure to run a couple tacticals and some, well, maybe some companion powers or boons that give you incoming healing. I'm actually at 9% incoming healing, but this is without the, what's it called? Yeah, Draconic Heritage, 5% more healing from spells and abilities. So actually I have 14% incoming healing, because this does not show the Draconic Heritage. 40% plus is pretty good. If you're at 25% minus, your healer is not going to really like you. So the Rusted Iron Leggings, no brainer, 5% extra damage. Then the Spiked Defender Embrace. This kind of depends on your playstyle for the Ranger, I guess. You have to make sure you don't get hit too much, but you have to get hit sometimes, which you will. You will get hit from time to time, so this will also give you quite a damage boost once you get hit. I also traded this out because, well, higher item level, this just gives you a lot more statistics than the primal gloves that we had before. Ebony Stained Hide stays the same. This is just too good to give up for something else, in my opinion. And then we have the Duelist Mask of Cormyr, which gives you 5,000 power if you're a single target or single enemy fighting, which helps with the bosses. So this also gives a lot of power when you're fighting a single target. Then for the enchantments, there are some tricky things. Of course, as I already said, you want some tacticals. I'm running 5 of them, so all of my utility slots are filled with a tactical rank 15. But I've also traded away some of the Radiants. Yes, Radiants have been moved. Let me see. So here we still have a Radiant. Here we have 1 Tenebrous, of course, and 1 Vicious, rank 15. Then here we have 1 Gigantic and a Radiant. Here we have the Radiant, and here we have a Brutal and a Black Ice. And then I have here another Black Ice enchantment, and this is all to get our stats to a nice place. Yeah, we need to get 85k, and I want to do it as efficient as possible. And swapping out a Radiant for a 3-stat enchantment, here you can see it's 1320 power and 1300 armor penetration, vicious, instead of the, what is it, 2400 power? Yeah. So we lose a little bit of power, but we get a lot of that back. We get more statistics from double or triple enchantments. So that's why we're going for that. Then also, the Tales of Old artifacts. Wow, they're gone. Why are they gone, you would say? Well, Tales of Old were very good. Well, they're still very good. But they were very good for Tom because of the extra HP that you were getting. It could help you get nicely up to 340, 350k, but as you can see, because I stepped away from the Demogorgon set, I don't really need the HP anymore, and these actually give you better power. So because of these artifacts I get, I think it's 9,000 power, 3,000, 3,000 and another 3,000, which, well, it's pretty good. So we're actually running this. This is also more statistics, more of the other statistics, which means we can use more power in the other spots. So that's the gear. Lots of changes actually here, which I'm a little bit surprised about. Of course, these are all with the power kits and these with combat advantage kits to get that as high as possible. Then the boons. Master boon, Bloodlust. Tier 5 is critical severity and incoming heal. And then of course we get all the power. We get the demonic mastery, of course, speed and companion influence. Then I take a little bit of the offensive statistics. I need crit, mostly because the Skirmisher's Gambit has received a big penalty. We basically need 95k crit now. So we also need some points in there, armor penetration and combat advantage. If anything, I might slip away a couple of HP and put it in Disenchanting Aura. Actually, I have some room for improvement in my build. What I have here is 40% bolster, and I'm still missing a epic companion item, believe it or not. Mod 16 is not very kind to me. If I get them, I might be able to sneak some points away and maybe also take 2 away here to fill up this enchanting aura, because yeah, control resistance is quite painful in the new dungeon. So that's what we have here. Guild Stronghold, not much changed, so we have power and hit points here. Companions, as I showed you, this has not changed at all, but down here, of course, we have the Siege Masters, of course, Baby Deep Crow. We have Broom inside now for critical severity, which is very good. The critical avoidance is not very necessary, but there's nothing else here that you can put in defense slot, sadly, that's better. So I went with the Broom. And in the offense slot here, instead of the Raptor, or what else did we have here before? I think the Raptor. I take the Kenky's Archer because of the armor penetration and power. You could swap this out for the Raptor if you have a couple of other people with the Raptor, and swap out one of the enchantments for something with armor penetration if you want. Thanks to the Zen Market, I also have a compy now, so that gives me a little bit of extra power, and that's basically it on the companions page. On the mounts page, we have, of course, Dominant Force, the Bat Swarm, quite logical. And here we have all dominance and a brutality for Gladiator's Guile. These actually, the bonuses don't really matter that much. I even have one if a companion attacks and I have a augment, so this doesn't do anything. Competence Maneuver will fill up your combat advantage. It's 134 that I'm missing, so it doesn't really do much. That's maybe 0.05% damage or something. It's hardly anything, but this will fill it easily up. This is 2500. Yeah, it will easily cap it. I have 2 Shepherd's Devotion because it's nice to get above defense and movement speed, and Gladiator's Guile is just nice anyway. If anything, I would try to get more of these, so maybe swap out this for an Enlightened or something like that. But it's mostly getting all the power here. Then the powers, of course. Basically, in the at wills and encounters, not much has changed. The biggest change is that you're going to use Clear the Ground more often in this dungeon, especially for clearing enemies. In combination with Call of the Storm, it will clear enemies pretty fast, especially if you also throw a Hindering Strike over it. You will clear everything very quick. Daily is also the same, encounters are the same. Class features, so for the dungeon itself, use Twin Blade Storm. It will do a lot more damage in big groups. If you are facing the boss, you can swap back to Blade Storm to do more damage there. Feats, not changed, all the same. So yeah, that's it. With all of this stuff, we get to a very high item level for once. I don't think I've ever been above 27,000. As you can see, I have a lot of power now. Armor penetration nicely, critical strike, accuracy overcapped. Cannot get it lower, I'm afraid. Combat advantage nicely. Then we have, as I said, incoming healing is 14%, the 5% from the race are missing. Critical severity 138.5. Depending on what you get with the chain of scales, it could even go higher. So now let's show you guys to what kind of power levels we can get in a fight. I'm going to hit this thing a bit because of the armor. We will be still raising our power in a combat, and also the mask gives us 5,000 power. Okay, let's check out all of the buffs. Oh, that's not good. 253. I think it's even more, but for some reason I use my Call of the Storm, which means I'm not in a single fight anymore. But 253 is not bad at all, I have to say. So yeah, I think I covered everything. History, powers, boons, companions. Yep, I covered everything. So, I will be putting this also in a CBF file if you want to use the character builder to look this up and look through it slowly, where the stats come from and stuff like that. If you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.